Oh, hello, fight fans. And it is a great day today. A great day to be British. Hello, I am Logan Sama, exclusively for esports.gg, and it is my great pleasure today to take you on the journey with Problem X as he claimed Red Bull Kumite Las Vegas. The eyes of the street fighting world were on Las Vegas this past weekend for Red Bull Kumite, which made its first ever appearance in North America. After missing out on Red Bull Kumite 2020 due to COVID postponements, we got two Kumites in 2021. Red Bull Kumite London happened several months ago, and of course we covered that as Mr. Crimson, the Frenchman, became the first player outside of Asia to ever claim the Kumite trophy. Well, I'm very, very happy to say that we have another European to add to that list. Mousesport's Problem X has a storied history of Las Vegas. It was, of course, the site for his greatest career achievement so far, his EVO title in 2018, which saw him defeat the number one ranked in the world, Tokido, on his way to victory and becoming the first British player ever to take a Street Fighter title at EVO. We're going to be looking at Problem X's run in Grand Finals, the most exciting comeback of the entire tournament, but also taking a look at his path to victory, which saw him defeat two of the big home favorites in Punk and iDom successively.
Psycho Crusher.
That move.
Man like Problem X.
Having already traveled to America this year for Street Fighter League North America as a representative of Team NASA, Problem X has already been showing out some of the newer characters that maybe surprised some of the viewers at Red Bull Kumite Las Vegas. Whilst M.Bison remains a stalwart of his arsenal, his stable of characters, he's added E.Honda and gone back to Alex as options in some matchups. I was very fortunate to get some exclusive access with Problem as he landed back in London, and we are going to be hearing from him throughout this analysis video, chipping in with his thoughts, his feelings, what he was dealing with in the moments that we're going to be breaking down here on the video.
Yeah, I'm extremely happy to win Red Bull Kumite. It definitely means a lot to me to win a major of this magnitude at this time as well. And I've been knocking on the door for Kumite. I've got second before. I wasn't really happy at all with my last year's results in 2020 on a whole. Didn't make the cup. The onlines didn't work out for me. I placed well, but not well enough because you only get it for winning. And 2020 was a blank year, and you know, it's a good confidence booster just to, you know, like, yeah, I can still win a major. And it meant a lot going over there as a sole European as well, coming back, taking that gold. But yeah, more importantly for me, is to prove to myself, even though I always know I can, but to get the proof that, yeah, you can win a major and hang with all these guys still and beat them. And it was exciting for me because it's the first time I've actually played iDom in tournament as well. And that has been something that I've been wanting to do.
Of course, we know Problem X is one of the very best players in the world, but so were so many of the players there. Of course, he had to face Punk in the first round of the elimination bracket in a 1-3 match. In a very shocking scoreline, he won that 3-0, picking Alex against Punk's carry. Let's find out a little bit about Problem's approach to that matchup with this character we almost never see in competitive play.
I was practicing hard for Karen going into Street Fighter League, so I was confident going in there in terms of I know what I'm trying to do here. In terms of our history, you know, it's gone back and forth over the years. I've had different characters to play him with, Abigail mainly, and literally the results between me and Punk have fluctuated essentially based on how good our characters were in that respective season. Yeah, now with the Alex, this is a new introduction to our sort of saga, you know, and as it stands now, in the last encounter, I had the upper hand.
iDom made it to Grand Finals last time round at Red Bull Kumite in London, but he fell to Problem X as well in the semi-final in a 4-2 victory. We saw Problem X using Bison, who traditionally has a hard time against mobile grapplers, but Problem X looked incredibly well practiced in the matchup. In fact, he'd been training this one heavily because he knew that iDom was a big threat.
I was waiting to see who was going, obviously, because I play flexible characters. Well, I play more than one character, so I wanted to see like if there was a character that will fight the majority of the cast that I was expecting to be there. Because at these times, I thought people like Crimson was coming, so I was playing Mabrowski in the battle lounge, etc. iDom is a contender that you always put to go far, if not win. So I was like, I might bump into this guy, so let me prep properly. Yeah, I played a lot of games with Shivs. I also played a lot with Shaqs as well for that match. So as you know, university, we've been known for having Loris in Europe.
Psycho Crusher.
That move.
Man like Problem X.
This man been a problem.
The boss. Evo
He's
champion.
been a problem.
Bro, Problem is looking unstoppable right now, Z.
With the two high-seeded Americans eliminated, all that was left was Korea's NL in the grand finals. Now, this is a fascinating character matchup because out of all the characters in the game, Problem X probably plays against Cammy the most, thanks to our own Hurricane here in the UK. We saw Problem utilize all three of his characters back to back to back, opening up with Alex, Honda, and then M.Bison. And I really want to break down and analyze the changes and adaptations that were made for such a huge swing in that momentum. When looking at the Cammy matchup, her real strength is her ability to change her jump arc. She'll jump at you, and normally the traditional Street Fighter method is jump and I anti-air. That's how it goes. I control the space, you jump, it's a desperation move. Cammy is able to change her jump arc angle with her dive kick, the cannon strike, and it makes it very difficult for some characters to deal with. Specifically M.Bison, because he doesn't have any invincible anti-air option. Now we're going to look at Problem's alternate characters and what their options are here and why he's looked to use them. Alex is an interesting one because he has his EX anti-air knee. That's invincible as an anti-air from the 5th frame, and it doesn't require a charge. As you can see here, it's got tremendous horizontal range, so it's very good at picking Cammy out of the sky as soon as she jumps. The only downside is, of course, he needs EX meter for this to be effective, and Cammy can continually jump. Looking at E.Honda now, he has heavy headbutt, which is obviously meterless, which means he has access to it far more frequently, but it is a charge move. Now this also will catch pretty much anything that Cammy does as a jump, but you need to be ready, you need to be holding that charge. Bison, on the other hand, he's got a guess, unfortunately. So it was very interesting to see Problem cycle through his characters so quickly. I'm going to be approaching this one a little bit differently as well. I'm going to be going sequentially through the set rather than looking at concept. I think the momentum swing of this set is so important. It's very vital in the analysis to just lay everything out as it happened and as it progressed. And we will throw back and refer to some of the points that I'm laying down, how both players changed their decision making and how their fortunes turned around. NL was, of course, playing really well this weekend. Despite an upset against Israel in his first match, which saw him lose pretty heavily to the Japanese Ryu, he looked very on point, and Cammy is very scary on PC. The reduction in input delay means that it is far more reliable to hit confirm some of her cancelable normals, specifically standing fierce, but also it is possible to hit confirm crouching medium kick, which makes her terrifying. One of the things that NL was doing really well is challenging with buffers. He would be buffering medium punches and heavy punches into special moves, and he opened up with that straight away, as you can see here.
Oh my goodness.
This is the same steam-rolling fashion in which he dispatched his teammate Chris.
NL starts the second round, and he's able to open up Problem pretty badly with this shimmy. And the issue for Alex is every time he gets knocked down, his defense is very poor, and he has to take guesses. Cammy's pressure, some of the best in the game. Let's take a look at this situation here on activation. Problem goes to chase down a V-shift escape. NL holds his cool though and interrupts with a jab. He makes the most of that interruption and of course cashes out into the CA single hit left, and that is game one. He was very proactive on defense throughout this whole set, and we're going to talk about that a lot more as we go through this analysis. And of course, that's one of the biggest issues with Cammy. She can beat you so quickly in a couple of guesses, you don't have time to process exactly what's going on. Problem took a moment, he went back to character select screen, and of course, he was goaded into making this E.Honda pick. So let's take a look at how that worked out for him. We already highlighted how effective headbutt is, but here you can see NL is super ready with the chase down and he gets the punish. A great neutral jump should see a big combo, but Problem doesn't get the link and activates on block. NL, sensing that this is a momentum shift, immediately lets rip with the reversal. And this is going to be really an important point, because throughout the set, you're going to see that NL only really used his reversal in times in which he felt Problem was making a momentum comeback, rather than in situations where he was guessing for the round or for stun or for the game. It was very rare that he would do desperate DPs. They were more stop signs on Problem's momentum. If he felt like Problem was about to make a comeback, that's generally when he would let him off. And Problem was pretty good at identifying that quite quickly. Here we are at the end of the first round. Problem finally gets him in the corner, looks to get some pressure. But again, NL says absolutely not and lets it off. NL was really good at confirming the stand fierce. He was very, very consistent on it. And here you can see he gets knocked down into pressure, opens up Problem. Problem super active on defense, trying to break out, and he cannot. Nothing worked for him here, and it is a very quick second game.
NL is in rare form.
I feel like the crowd is responsible for this one.
So Problem's got some thinking to do. He's tried Alex for a game, it hasn't worked out. He's tried Honda for one game. Is he going to carry on with the Honda, or is he going to take a look at M.Bison? Let's hear what he had to say.
I felt uncomfortable with the way he was closing distance. And when he had V-Trigger 1, it was like, okay, what am I really doing here? It was very aggressive, and he looked very sharp as well, like with punishing buttons, like clipping buttons, putting buffers out. It made it very uncomfortable for me. So I was like, I don't like how this feels right now. I don't even want another game of this. Like, I know I can maybe win this fight, but this is not the time. And I thought, if I'm going to go out, I'm going out on my guy.
Imagine the pressure. Everyone here, first offline event in years. All of the glitz, the glamour, the cameras.
Problem 2-0 down here in the first of 5 set, and he gets caught low. He's already in the corner. The confirm seem to be working now for NL, but he gets back thrown, and then immediately, the momentum shift, NL puts his foot down. No, that is not happening. He lets off the EXDP, and that is that. You're going to see here, NL jumps from pretty far away. Problem goes for a reasonable read on a crouch fierce. He gets hit high and still comboed. It really illustrates how difficult this matchup is for M.Bison when it comes to dealing with Cammy's aerial approach. You're going to see Problem slide in and activate here. He goes for the Psycho Axe and then waits a second because he is expecting another EXDP from NL for that momentum swing. But NL very smartly checks him with a button instead. He identifies the Problem is waiting to bait something, and he takes his turn. He gets the knockdown here, and again, NL lets it rip. He knows that Problem wants to follow up, and he lets that EX cannon spike off. Problem here, trying another answer to the aerial approach, and that is a V-shift. A little bit too early though, and he gets punished here in the corner. Problem manages to get an activation. He catches NL standing up, but again, he tries to steal frames, looking for some kind of backdash, a V-shift, a delay. He gets back thrown out of it, and that is game 3. 3 in a row, 3-0 down in grand finals, and he is looking very, very tense for Problem. Think about how Problem X is feeling right now. You've tried Alex, your new character. That hasn't worked. You've gone to Honda, the character that you've been using mainly for this Cammy matchup. That hasn't worked either. You've gone back to M.Bison, which is, your old faithful, the character that you're known the best for. You've lost that as well. That's 3 back-to-back single games. That's not a huge amount of data to go on either. But Problem decided to stick with M.Bison, and this is when the tide started turning. Round starts and he gets a Psycho Axe, which gives him a significant life lead now. And the dynamic shifts where NL has to start to push the issue. And Problem can play his standoffish game. In fact, you're going to see him do that dealing with Cammy's air approach, where before he was perhaps trying to challenge, here he's happy to just block. And this is something that we've seen him do for many, many years. Bison's options for anti-airs are not super reliable. The big thing for him, though, is not trying to interrupt and take guaranteed damage into knockdown from Cammy, because that means she's not only in and getting pressure, but she's got damage on top.
One more sequence.
Problem wakes up with EX Devil Reverse, and this is massively plus on block. And if you take a look at this moment, you can see that NL has a big life lead, and Problem X needs a swing of momentum. What has NL done in this situation every time so far? The same thing that he does this time. But Problem X knew that. He gets the follow-up crush counter combo, but NL identifies this immediately and does something really smart. Assuming that Problem's going to try and bait out a reversal again, he throws out a crouching medium kick, which is trying to catch Problem X's walk back. It does catch it, he confirms it, and he gets the hit. And this is real on-the-fly adaptation. I know that you know that I know that you know. Real back and forth stuff. And I love seeing this at high-level Street Fighter 5. In the end, NL's quite fortunate to close this round out. He goes to whiff punish what I presume he thinks is a Psycho Axe when he sees that purple stuff. It's actually a stand fierce and it's not a whiff punish. You can see the counter hit there. He clips the start up of Problem's B skill and that is it. Problem X early on in the round showing his readiness with an air-to-air hell attack.
Adaptation.
Okay, there we go.
He reads the jump normal, he's right, he gets the knockdown and the damage, and that does give him a life lead again. But again, Problem X swinging that fierce out into the blast, and he's taking chunk by chunk by chunk of damage off. And finally, Problem X is on the board with the throw. And I just want to have a look down there in the corner of the screen. You can see NL had the bar if he wanted to let off of the XDP, but he wasn't really using it in these guess for game situations. He was only really interrupting with the EX cannon spike when it was a momentum swing, not in a guess for game. You're seeing Problem swinging out that stand fierce and getting the life lead. You're seeing Problem disengaging from the anti-air option. And you're also going to start seeing Problem checking this neutral space that NL started dashing and walking into. This is a really cool call out, by the way. You can see NL's got the gauge there to activate V-trigger. Problem X +1 after the Psycho Axe. Cammy normally activating off Crouch Fierce, which is 9 frames. Guess what? Bison's Roundhouse is 9 frames and he's +1. Crush counter. No, sir, you may not. Big damage. It leads into the stun, and of course, the crowd went wild. Problem closes it out with a perfect with the low forward.
Problem. What's up, bro? Anti-air that. Oh, my.
Perfect.
Oh, yeah.
Perfect.
It's alive in here now. Yes. Big plus frames.
But NL was not to be put off, and he had a very, very strong follow-up round. You can see he's got a huge life lead here. Problem X making the wrong decisions on defense. He gets caught again trying to activate and gets air reset, and NL's able to close it out. But we're going to the final round now. And now he's got the life lead, he's just going to back off and swing that fierce, stick out that medium kick. All he needs is single hits because it's NL that's going to have to approach. Lets the EX scissors off again because he knows that NL wants to get into that space. Problem getting a little bit greedy here, trying to steal frames with the Psycho Axe and the block string. And again, NL not to be put off. He goes for that Crouch Fierce activation, even though he got Crush countered off of it last time. Another unfortunate moment's going to happen here for NL. He's buffering away, hoping to catch something. Unfortunately, he catches a negative edge and the spiral arrow comes out. Problem blocks it and it is 3-2. What a huge difference 3-2 is to 4-1.
This grand finals. Oh, my goodness. Oh, my goodness. Somebody drop a UK drill beat, please.
We need Logan right now.
NL, feeling that the tide was turning, went back to character select to take a moment. Let's see what Problem was thinking when that happened.
So we're playing, and I see some things where I'm like, okay, I think you're just trying to steamroll now. I don't think you want to play this neutral, because I was playing that sort of drawn out neutral, like, you know, and he was coming in, and obviously he had games to spare. So then I got one game and I got 2 games. Now I think he went to character select screen, and that's when I knew. I was like, okay, this game style is I want this over with, because I'm not comfortable now. I don't think he was comfortable anymore in the match. I thought he just wanted to kind of steamroll. That was his game plan, and it was working, and then it stopped working.
Straight into game 6, and we can see again that the air reset does not treat Problem kindly. NL with a full punish, big damage, and the Oki as well.
Activate to make it safe.
Mouse got something to say though. Back throw.
Okay, he's gonna get great.
NL chooses to just block it out. You can see the resources that Problem has here. The damage is going to be significant if he does bait out a DP. He's been showing that he's been baiting these DPs as well, and NL just has to chill in the corner, and that life lead has now gone. But what he does do is an excellent jump light kick out of the corner, catches Problem completely unawares, not only escapes the corner but gets a significant chunk of damage and a knockdown. But once again, disaster strikes, and after the activation, he gets the miss confirmed into the spike, and this is going to really hurt. What you're going to see here is a whole lot of inactivity from NL, because he's in a situation now where if he gets clipped by a single stand fierce, he's dead. So the Problem can walk straight at him because the fear of that button is there, and NL really can't risk playing on the ground. He's used up all of his EX bar as well though, so there's no fear from Problem of an EX cannon strike. You see Problem again opening up with the single button presses, and he is looking to get this life lead. However, the jump in doesn't work out for him. He gets put in a situation, Problem tries to air this time, and he gets put back down in the corner by NL. Problem trying to read a throw, back dashes, and NL was going for the shimmy. There's the stun, and this is going to be over very quickly.
Quick and easy.
Man like NL.
They're the sort of rounds you can expect when things go wrong for Bison here. He gets put in the corner, he has to take this pressure, he has to guess defensively, and Cammy has the damage output and the looping offense and Oki that means that she can continually make Bison force these guesses. Eventually he did take the throw and he goes immediately for the activation, but once again NL flips out of it. But fortune is shining on Problem X today because there is no punish here. He just commits all in, stand fierce, DP. Pretty sure the CA was ready to come afterwards. Problem X with the big combo punish.
A bit of a gamble there for NL to go.
This is a really interesting exchange because they're both swinging for the fences. They're both trying to interrupt each other. There's no respect being shown. It's NL who manages to get the combo into the CA, but Problem X is about to make an incredible comeback here. Plants the bomb. Again, he identifies that NL was trying to get out. He keeps him grounded with the crouching medium punch. No risk of an air reset there because it's a link afterwards, and then he closes out.
Let's go! Man like Bill! Man like Bill!
And from 3-0 down, Problem X has leveled it up to 3-3. And I can only imagine what NL was thinking here. He had a couple of really unfortunate interactions there with the air reset, and his confirms were perhaps not at the level we might come to expect. But this risk-averse strategy from Problem X is really paying off. Problem X not getting opened up via the V-trigger dive there, V reversals, and puts NL back towards the corner. Not close enough to get real Oki though, so he lets him go, gets up. We're used to seeing some pretty crazy V-Trigger 2 combos and setups from Problem, but he didn't really use V-Trigger 2 like that. It was rare that we saw him even get to plump the bomb and make the most of it. Here, he puts the bomb on NL and just walks him into the corner. He waits, jumps in, you're gonna see the explosion. Normally that would be plus frames and he would have taken his turn, but NL is airborne, which means he tried to get out again. He was super active.
We got that Sunny D and that purple stuff. And he
in fact, being active here is what gets him killed as he gets crush countered and juggled with the scissors for the game. And it is now 3-4.
Oh my goodness. From 0-3.
This is potential last game.
We're going into an 8th game and no one in the arena can believe this has happened.
But he has to staunch the bleeding. Problem X has
Problem's use of that EX scissors is really, really good. He's so good at lulling you into a full sense of security. You see, NL wanted to try and walk out. Problem X kind of goaded him to walk out of the corner straight into that EX scissors.
nothing on that crush.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. And
so we're at a set point here and just look at the movement. Problem X is very, very happy to just chill in that space of the screen. NL is all over the place. He's trying to move in, he's trying to jump, he's trying to backdash. He is using everything he can to try and hypnotize Problem X with this movement, but Problem is not buying it.
Lost over this time.
that says 4 straight, Z. My man's on like the beginning of a ranked win streak.
He's on the Cleveland Cavaliers, I'm telling you.
And just watching this last round, it just looks like NL is afraid to get in. He activates off the stand fierce. Problem X pushes him back into the corner though with the EX scissors. Puts the standing medium punch out there just to look for a button and it allows him to recover in time if NL jumps forwards. Overextends with the Psycho Axe, and that jump back does pay off for NL here.
Guess for game! Guess for tournament!
Wait, the wake up!
And for the first time in the set, and the last time, NL actually does go for the desperation wake up, and Problem X had it scouted out.
That could be one of the most amazing human feats possible.
Amazing play. Ladies and gentlemen, we just saw some of the best Street Fighter 5 we have seen in how long?
It was an incredible display of composure, adaptation on the fly, and in-depth character matchup knowledge from Problem X. Only the second non-Asian to ever claim the Red Bull Kumite trophy in all of its existence. It was an incredible event, and it was so enjoyable to watch offline Street Fighter played again by some of the very best in the world. Congratulations, Problem X, and that is it from me. Don't forget, you can catch more great coverage of Street Fighter and other fighting games on esports.gg, and follow @esports on social media. And of course, I'll be back in the near future for more breakdowns and more analysis here exclusively for esports.gg. Thank you very much. I've been Logan Sama. Take care, and I'll see you next time around.